Hi, I'm Ravi Shankar. I'm from Wadhwani Foundation. I'm an executive vice president at the Wadhwani Foundation, and I handle the global resource network. I definitely think a lot of ventures, if you ask the ventures point of view, a lot of them will say funding. But if you really look at it from an entrepreneur point of view, or rather, how I look at it, I think over the journey, right, for an early stage startup or a seed stage startup, which is really the idea is still in a very, very MVP stage, and they're looking at ways to take the idea to the market. There's a lot of structured approach that is missing, right? And I think they should invest a lot of time in how can we get that right? Because during the initial stage of a startup, you need a whole lot of resilience. You also need a whole lot of help, right? You need help in terms of mentorship. You need help to connect with experts in your domain. So if you're running, especially if you're running a high tech startup, right? It could be like robotics. It could be anything around AI. It could be space tech. It makes a lot of, it kind of accelerates your thinking if you can speak to an expert from that domain. And those are some of the ingredients that go into making your startup successful. And I think that's what a lot of things should focus on. Yeah, honestly, as an entrepreneur, an AI today in everybody's hand, right? It's there on everybody's phone, is almost like a co-founder, right? Because and a co-founder who doesn't complain, because you can ask a whole lot of questions. You can take from a basic help of just getting knowledge. You could take it all the way on the insight curve, right? From a basic level knowledge to analyzing data, giving you insights, telling you next steps, what are the other potentials. So a whole lot of things can be done by AI. So it is a fairly powerful tool today. And every entrepreneur should be using it, right? In some form or the other, I'm sure they're already using it. It is a very powerful, and I always think it is like another co-founder, right? Or if you're working, even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're working in any organization, it is almost like another teammate, right? So yeah, I don't know if it's the next shift, but I think tapping the entire Indian market, like we've been talking about it for 10 years now, that 140 crore people, lot of market. But ultimately, when companies build and execute, they find that it's only the top 10, 20 crores who are buying some of those products. But I think now that shift is changing, because as the GDP is growing, and more importantly, as the per capita income is growing for everybody, like India is on course to become a $10 trillion economy, say by 2032, right? That means 3x of what we are today, right? And that is a lot of growth, a lot of per capita income, and hence the market itself is out of these top 5 or 6 cities. I think India will soon become 50 to 100 city potential, right, on where you can sell your products. So for a lot of entrepreneurs, and in India, and all of us know this, right, every state is like a country, right? It's even within a state, it's so different. So a lot of learning and relearning will have to go through. It will no longer be about selling to metros or tier 1 cities. It will be to go across and try and figure out what is it that guy in that city wants, and how can I sell better for him or her. And I think that's the next big shift that's going to come, because we have the market, we have the potential to explode. And I think right now, and maybe even in the next 5-10 years, we also have the money to consume a lot of these products and services, right? And I think that's where a lot of growth will come from.